Hey, what's up, guys? This is CultYap. Basically, yapping by creators for creators. Now, if you think content creation is for you, that's amazing. But will it be amazing in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? How do you stay motivated? What if you start to hate it? Well, our guest today is an OG in the scene, and he is going to shed some light on the realities of being a content creator. He is the co-founder of Blank Slate, a digital creative and social media content agency. He creates very engaging content, he writes, and at night, he's making you laugh by being a stand-up comedian. Ming, welcome to CultYap.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction. And
I know
crazy,
what I'm doing.
Crazy.
I'm so excited to have you here to start
Thank
yapping.
you. Yes.
And we are going to immediately go back in time
Oh my lord.
to 2011. I was 12 years old, by the way.
Oh, shut up, man.
I was 12.
Shut up, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's when the Ming thing started.
Yeah.
Okay, and you guys were doing social media at a time when not many people were doing it.
I don't think it wasn't called social media at the time, man. We didn't have a name for it.
Yeah, you were just posting videos.
We were just making stuff, yeah.
Yeah, so how was it like creating content at that era?
It was, wow. There wasn't a game. It was just like, you want to make a video? Let's make a video. So I think if you turn the clock back, I was actually just coming back from England at about that time. My brother Ming Han and our other partner Brian started doing like some short films when I was like still in England. And then when I got back, we were like, hey, you know what? Let's just make more stuff. And then we started making like comedy sketches and skits and short little videos here and there. And then it just it just exploded, right? And then there's the whole story of Jin, Danku, Grim Film, Josu Jamani. It's been fun. It's just been, we never saw it as social media. I don't think that term even existed to us back then. It was just really, let's make stuff for the internet and then we'll see where it goes. So that was just it.
But what drew you guys to content creation though? Like, Takan, it was just one day you were like, a camera, let me be in front of the screen. There has to be like that moment.
Actually, it was really that because there wasn't any money involved at that point. Like, it was really far down the road. Then only we saw sort of like brands come in and be like, hey, can you make something for us? It was really purely just passion of like, let's just go out and shoot something. And I think it was just kind of like at the turn of the times where cameras became more sort of like accessible to people. And not just TV stations had them. And then like, Brian, he had a camera as well. And we were like, you know what, let's try making a short film. Let's try making some sort of funny video in the park at night. And that was actually just kind of like the organic method of how we created stuff.
Wow.
Not much budget, I can tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, some of them.
So like when was the moment where you guys realized, oh my God, we can kind of start making money from this. We can kind of start earning.
Wow. Probably like, I want to say around that time, we started to get brands coming in and be like, hey, I saw your video. Can you make something like this for us? And we're like, oh, yeah, sure. And then like, here's our budget. And we're like, whoa. Oh, it pays, So that was like, I guess the discovery of like, actually this could be a job of some sort, right? And then like, we've told this story many times on interviews and stuff, but like Ming Han and I, our mom was like, well, I don't know, is it going to be a real job?
Of course, typical.
And then she's like, you know what? You guys can go ahead and try. Then Ming Han's deal with my mom was like, if you give us 1 year to see if we can make money, then we can continue doing this. Otherwise, we'll just go back and do whatever we studied to do.
Whoa, 1 year? So how much did you guys achieve in that 1 year to make your mom go like, okay?
It made sense to be like, okay lah, can continue trying lah. Yeah, it was okay. So it wasn't like crazy money, but I guess it was just enough for us to be like, oh yeah, we could continue trying to see where this goes. And I think ever since then, it's just kind of been an extension of let's see where this goes. Yeah, we're still there.
Now, like, let's see where this goes. And you guys are already like there.
No, man. It's just been a very interesting journey because I think like maybe just on the whole front of content creation, we never saw ourselves as native to one platform. And that's just been our mindset in adopting and trying out new stuff. That's why for us, up to this point, where we're creating stuff for brands and for ourselves simultaneously on different platforms, different genres. And I think that's the same spirit that we had when we started creating stuff on YouTube. Yeah, it's experimental.
So you mentioned like multiple different platforms, right? So that is something that is only available now to the new age content creators, right? That was not the case for you guys when you started creating videos. So do you believe, do you believe that content creators now have it easier trying to get into the game? Or do you think there are some challenges that come with it?
I think it's actually more difficult. It's way more difficult.
Explain yourself.
So like depending on who you are watching this, right? You could be a native to Instagram. Like, what is the first thing you open up every morning?
Yeah,
The
for me
first
it's
app.
IG.
It's IG, right?
Yeah.
But for like Gen Zs, it's TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care. And some of them don't even have Facebook on their phones. Right?
Okay, yeah, I don't have Facebook on my phone. And who uses Facebook in
Okay,
this day
shut
and
up,
age?
please. Okay, please. It really depends on like your age and your habits for use. I think it's harder for creators today because you have to at least juggle and figure out where you want to be and reach out to that multiple types of platforms and audiences. But also, I think if you are very laser focused on what you want to do, you could be a TikTok native and just purely focus content on TikTok and forget everything else.
Yeah.
Does that help your brand in the long term? Not really. But I feel like if you don't care, there are creators who are only thrive on TikTok, and that's fine.
Yeah. So if you were a creator that was joining right now,
Whew.
how would you go about
I
it?
wouldn't be a creator.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't think I don't think I would create in the same sense that people or the new generation of creators are doing it. I don't think I have the energy, and I don't think I have that. Yeah, it's tough. I can't dance. So TikTok's already out for me.
I mean, TikTok is more than just dancing, okay? I feel
Sorry.
everybody has this like...
The boomer is talking.
Everyone has this notion in their head that TikTok, you just do dances. But I mean, I believe TikTok, there is a bit more like realness to it.
Yeah,
IG
definitely.
is so like aesthetic, it's so pretty.
It definitely is. Yeah. I
right?
agree. That's actually the best way I would summarize the differences of the two platforms as well.
Yeah. So what, you're still not into TikTok, huh?
I am. I think personally, I'm on TikTok. I have a page to watch other things.
Oh.
The stuff that I upload on TikTok is just like, sometimes I'll make really stupid stuff and upload it. Otherwise, I don't really care because TikTok's just like, it moves too fast and I have no energy to keep up with it. So it's cool. Yeah.
If you miss out on a day or two, there's going to be something new, a new
true.
drama that you're supposed to keep up with. And to just go back, you're just going to get lost.
I
There's
think
no point.
you have to actually care. And I think maybe that's why, if you ask me if I would be a creator today, I don't know if I would because I don't think I care that much. Not anymore. Not where I am right now. Yeah.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
it's difficult. It's so difficult. Like, if you want to be relevant on TikTok, you have to know like the current trends. And then by the time you hear about those trends, it's already past already.
Yeah.
It's like, help me, I can't.
So going back to that, right?
Yeah.
Do you believe to be a content creator in this day and age, you just need to pick up a camera and record yourself? Or do you think there's more to it?
Oh wow, that's a tough one. There are both. So there are those who really just do that. Really, those who just like pick up a camera, take pictures of themselves every day, and then I'm a content creator. And who's to say that's not content?
That's true. They are still putting something out there, right?
I mean, it could be trash content, but it's still content, you know. I'm not here to judge. You do what you want, man.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's the landscape today has created, I guess, creators on both sides of the spectrum. One who really just, I know this works. I know wearing these branded clothes, taking pictures in a certain style will get me the numbers I want.
Yeah.
And there are those who just like, you know what, I want that. That's the success I want, and you just go for that. And I think it's also birthed a very different type of creators that look at the landscape and be like, I don't want to be like this. How do I stand out? How do I create something that's different? And to me, that's like, oh, that's interesting. Because I feel like they have to put in a lot more effort in analyzing, oh, I'm not this kind, I don't suit this kind of content. That's a lot cooler to me. Because I think that's how we sort of approached the content creation back then as well. Because like back then it was only just like TV. Correct. And then we were like, how do we make stuff that's not TV? Because we didn't have the money for it.
Facts.
Yeah.
I think you're so right. In any way, whether you're starting content creation like back then or now, strategy is really important. A lot of people don't take into account how you have to really think about the person you want to portray yourself online, your long game, your strategy, how am I going to grow my account, the way that you want to grow your account. Right?
That's all the time we have today. Thank you for watching.
Okay, the next question, you need to be so serious.
Oh,
You need to be so
serious.
honest.
Let's do it.
Okay? Do you still care about content creation?
Depending on who I'm doing it for, I care.
Okay, so you mean like what? Working with clients or working with different creators?
Working with clients. So because we are a creative agency, a lot of the things that we do for brands has to take into account the stuff that the brand represents and what they're doing with community and stuff like that. So then I have to think about, okay, how is that going to translate? So I think on that part, I care very much because that's something I actually enjoy, like the strategy part of stuff. I like to look at the market and the behavior and then kind of flip that back over to what would work for this period of time. But for myself personally, I think I'm one of the worst influencers around. I hate using that label myself. I literally...
He's an influencer.
I don't care about uploading stuff. Like, I know with a lot of creators and influencers, they have to like, I need to post like 5 stories a day. I need to post up OOTD every day to keep the algorithm in my favor.
Yeah.
And I don't care. I very much don't care about that algorithm thing. And I think that's, in some sense, I think that's rewarded the fans or audience that come around my content because they know I'm not going to be posting up bikini pictures every day.
Why not? Everybody's asking for it,
I really should. I really should start buying a few bikinis. I think I would become quite viral actually.
Yes, I agree. You're missing out here.
I really am.
There's a whole market just waiting for the bikini pics to drop.
There'll be periods of time where I'm very, I have like surges of like inspiration that I'll create stuff. I think the last time that happened, unfortunately, was during COVID.
Yeah.
Where like I made a video every day. I posted up daily. And that was fun as heck. I loved it. I loved the challenge of doing that. But then, I've got a team of like people that I work with and I'm too tired, I think.
Yeah, especially if you have a team, it's great, but it's so exhausting
It is.
ideate, think of like, different videos to continue, even if you're doing like a series, right? Oh my God, it's exhausting.
It's hard to care. It's hard to care all the time.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you like the strategic, planning the strategies and stuff like that, right? And again, you've been doing this for quite a bit. So how do you stay inspired and motivated to continue to create this content while the industry is still being saturated with new content creators every single day?
That's a really good question. I feel a lot of creators, especially when they hit their like sort of like 5th, 6th year, or even in the 3rd year, depending on how working you are, they always talk about burnout.
Yeah, man.
The creative burnout, I don't know what to make. And that's why a lot of people have sort of like rebranding.
Correct.
I think to me, that's actually part of the process. Like it isn't a different topic from being a creator. I feel like if you want to be a creator, if you want to be serious about it, you have to take consideration what the burnout's going to look like. Because it manifests itself very differently on who's doing it. To some people, it's like, I never want to do that. That's why I'm only going to post up a video a week. But lo and behold, you will get to a point where you're like, actually, I'm still having burnout. Because it could be either quantity or like whatever you're doing and you get sick of it. To me, that's how I kind of view it. And I think for me, because I've internalized it very early on, I never saw it as a detrimental thing. I always saw it as it's part of the process. Every time I feel like I have burnout, something's wrong. I have to change something. And I've been very, very blessed that I think over the course of the decade, I've somehow I guess I have to because I'm not a very good looking influencer. I feel like it's easier. It's easier when you're good looking. Then you can be like, I launched a fashion brand. I'm doing this now. I'm a model now. Like it's easier, But for us ugly people, like you gotta work harder. You gotta work harder to like rebrand yourself. But that's what it's like. It's been for me because I feel like one of the things I love about creating content is that our type of content is always just a different sort of lens on what happens on a day-to-day.
Yeah.
Even back then, like we would have stories about like, the types of people you find in a cinema, how people sneeze, all these random
it's everyday
stuff.
things though.
It's everyday things, right? And that's like how I also view content being done today for ourselves and brands. And that's why it's like, it's never about, how do I make this like some crazy, far-fetched, like dystopian artistic thing? Which is, if you can do that, God bless you.
Great job.
That's not me. I try to keep it grounded and I try to make people realize that actually on a day-to-day basis, there's a lot of things that happen that skips our attention, and that's the kind of stuff that I like bringing to focus.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you so much for bringing up the fact of like burnout. That's a normal process because as a creator myself, I've gone through it. I've been like, because I focus on beauty.
Yeah.
And it's gotten to a point.
Easy because you're good looking, so it's.
I mean, I know makeup, okay? That's why I do beauty. But I just want to say it because I've gotten to a point where sometimes, I have felt that burnout. And I feel like tired from making beauty content to a point where it's something that I've enjoyed personally, but then now it's like I have to do it for work.
How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so I take breaks. I genuinely take breaks.
Okay.
Or maybe like, I switch up my content a little bit to like focus on just like daily stuff, what
Yeah,
I'm doing,
yeah.
instead of hyper focusing on beauty because, humans grow. Like, you change as a person. So it makes sense that your content also grows with you as you grow older, the longer you are in the industry, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for saying that because I feel like not many people take into account the burnout. It's natural.
Yeah,
It happens. The world is not ending, okay?
It happens, yeah.
It's completely okay. So after all of this, have you ever thought of quitting social media?
100%, every day.
Now that's a real answer right there.
No, I think in my mind, I actually quit back in 2020.
Oh!
Yeah, in my mind, I was like, I'm done. That was like when COVID hit first time.
Was it
first
because
wave.
of COVID?
Slightly, but also I just didn't care about posting stuff because I realized that everyone at that point was posting about Dalgona coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, throwback.
Yeah, that you're whisking,
Everyone was
whisking
posting
coffee.
about how it was tiring being at home and then how they were working out at home. It was only 3 of them. And I was like, you know what?
And the cooking videos.
And cooking videos. Everyone was a chef.
Everyone single person
and
on
their
your
mother.
timeline. Yep.
Whoo! I was done, man. You can actually see a gap. So I think if you scroll back on my Instagram, if you go back to like 2021 and then 2020 and then 2019, 2020 is 3 rows and that's it. Like you move on to the next year already. And I'm like, for a content creator, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
To me, I was done already at that point. So I was like, you know what? I'm happy. I'm done. And then I accidentally made more stuff. So.
Accidentally, yeah. But that's interesting though, because a lot of the other creators that I've spoken to, they took the opportunity of COVID because they're at home, nothing's going on, just churn out content again and again and again. So why didn't you feel the same way?
I just felt like at that point my priorities in life were very different.
Faham.
I was like, I think sometimes we need to be grateful for the things that we have. The fact that we're alive, But also to be fair, I had to take care of a team of like people, and I was like, you know what, I need to focus on getting jobs during this downtime. How do we create something? How do we make our product still relevant to people even when they're all at home? So that was actually my focus. So my creation energy wasn't on myself; it was on brands and clients and our business as well. Yeah. So I guess that's where it went.
Okay, you had other things to do.
I had other things to do. I had bills to pay. Yeah.
Bills to pay. Yeah. The realities of being a content creator.
It's true. It's true. Have mouths to feed.
Yep, correct. So, the social media landscape, it constantly changes. Obviously over the years, but we have come to a point where sometimes it's like bi-weekly basis or even like monthly basis, right? What's funny today is not going to be funny tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you, I guess, stay relevant?
Whoa.
How do you stay relevant in the game in this stage in 2024?
I feel like at this point of the podcast, you would understand that I don't bother staying relevant. I don't think I'm very relevant, and I own it, and I'm not afraid of letting people know that I'm not comfortable with the use of cap or riz. Those words are offensive to me.
Huh? What do you have against Gen Z slang?
No, because here's my question. Let's talk about cap for a while, right?
Okay, no cap.
I heard one of our teammates say that. They're like, stop capping.
Yeah, stop capping.
I was like, you need to shut up.
Okay? Why?
I said, number one, what the heck does that mean? And they're like, you know what cap means? I'm like, yeah, I know what cap means. I was like, can you use it like that? I thought you always had to use it in the confines of no cap.
No, not
I
at
didn't
all.
realize that it's a full-on replacement to stop lying. You know?
Yes.
So I was like, okay, but then can I push it that the cappage needs to end?
I believe so.
Yeah.
I say can.
So then they were like, oh, I don't think that's right. Then I'm like, why is it not right? Because it shouldn't be cappage. I'm like, why? It's the same thing, right? Then I'm like, can I escalate it even more? I said like, y'all need to shut up. I'm sick of you and your caps. Then like, I don't know if that works. I said, what about all the deceit that you've planted in this web of caps? That's when the team was like, you took it too far. Then they're like, Ming, you owe a shit. So I struggle, because I feel relevance is a state of mind. And to me, I was quite relevant.
Listen, I'm Gen Z.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank
I love
you.
the use of cap like that.
Hey, yeah.
You need to develop it. It can't just stay no cap. It's
can't
gonna be boring.
stay no cap.
Yeah.
Dumb. So what's a white cap? Are you okay? White caps. If I tell you a white cap, you're like, what? See, that's how I approach being relevant. I'm far from it. I understand it, but I don't bother.
That's really good though. I feel like you can really start something.
Yeah.
That itself could be a series. You just take Gen Z slang and just start taking it to the next level.
We had a very intense debate in the office about this one. But I think our approach about staying relevant has always been kind of like, we'll still make what we want to make. And I'll still tell the stories that I want to tell.
Correct,
And
okay.
if people do like it, I truly believe that like an audience forms around it. And I think like that's been the case with one of our shows, Sip and Spill.
Yeah.
There's nothing about that that's relevant to like today's times, but we just made it, and then it became relevant because it was about people. And I think that's the heart of everything that we do. It's always about people and their stories.
Yeah.
You can make like an Instagram feed full of your own pictures, and you have numbers, but like in terms of like engagement and whether you actually made an impact on someone's life, different story.
Faham.
Yeah.
I think what you guys noticed and picked up with Sip and Spill is people want to tell stories.
Hey, for sure.
People want to be heard, honestly.
They be yapping. That's what I said.
Yes.
Is that how you use it?
Correct. They're yapping.
The
yes.
yap page is insane.
Oh my god, I love that. The yap page.
The
yap-
yapperinos.
The yapperinos. The yappatory.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's abundance of the yapsters just in abundance. It's crazy. Sorry. That's how I'm just exploring the
It's okay. I'm giving you this
Thank
space.
you.
I'm
It's a
giving
safe
you this
space.
It's a safe space.
I really appreciate it.
Do it. But you gotta start with more
Yes,
this
ma'am,
time.
sorry.
Okay. So
Oh,
with
man.
your expertise, your experience, what is something you believe new content creators, shouldn't be doing?
Whoa. I think new content creators shouldn't be content creators. I'm just kidding. No, I feel like new content creators shouldn't be creators for the sake of being creators.
Oh, faham?
Yeah. I always say this as well, like if you were gonna start, have a very solid plan or at least a goal, so that at least you know what you're working towards. So like just now I was saying that if your goal is just to be an influencer that gets invites to events, that gets branded goods, then okay, congratulations, that's your goal. No hate, just do it, right? But if you do that and then somehow ask yourself, oh, why aren't people resonating with my message? And like, it's like it's not there. Then hey, wake up, bitch. Hey, sorry, what? hey, wake up. You set that up for yourself, all right? So I think it's really just about the intention of where you're going and what you're doing with it. Like the creators, I sat down with a creator recently and she was saying that she knows she wants to be like a Gen Chia. Like her comparison, I want to be like, so I'm Jen.
She already knows.
She already knows. And I was like, that's great. But she's like, but I feel right now I need to do like more funny stuff that's engaging. I'm like, okay, well, Jen's funny, Jen's engaging. But I also want to like do a lot of OOTDs right now. So I was like, what do you want to do? And she kept quiet. I was like, hey, you know what? All the best.
Yeah.
So,
but like in her defense, right? I
Yeah.
feel like when you're a content creator now, because it's so saturated, you feel the need
gotta
to
do
macam
everything.
like do every single thing just to
I
cover your
agree.
bases.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I think I think the worst thing though about when you go into this is not having a clear understanding of what it is. Sometimes you go in and be like, I'm just going to be an influencer. And like, how is that going to pay your bills?
Correct.
They don't think about that, right?
Yeah.
I think the worst thing that you shouldn't do is think about the future. You should think about the future.
Yes, 100%. Like any career line
100%.
you're in, you have to have a plan lah.
Yes.
So even with social media, you can't just be like, oh, one day I'm going to blow up. You kind of need to plan it out.
Yeah.
A lot of these people that go viral, they've been doing it for years. They
Yeah.
plan it out. There needs to be a strategy, like we mentioned. Okay, so do you think content creators should focus on one thing?
Wow. Do you think content creators should focus on one thing?
I mean, I'm in it right now. I say hell no. Absolutely not, because like I have a full-time job. I'm a radio
Yes.
announcer.
Yes.
I host outside.
No, but that's because
I
you're a
have
personality as well. Because you have a lot of different aspects around your life.
faham, things I'm
If
doing.
let's say it was someone like brand new to the game and they're like, hey, should I just do one thing?
Yeah.
What would you say?
It will definitely be a complicated answer lah. I have seen people that are focused just on one thing,
Yeah.
and they've done so well. But I've
Correct.
also seen people who have niched themselves
Yeah.
really put themselves in a box to a point where you technically like it's harder to grow lah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think to get eyes, to get noticed, to get discovered, it does pay off to have one type of genre so that people see the video. For example, like if you like doing like food reviews, right? And then people like your food review and then they go to your page, but it's about everything else.
Yeah.
Then be like, I don't know what I'm following you for.
Faham?
So I think it's important to establish as a creator what your niche is. And I think see back in TikTok, like when it blew up, there was the very easy summary in everyone's bio, CEO of.
Yeah.
And I love that because I feel like you knew what you were getting into when you went to a creator's page. CEO of food reviews, CEO of dancing.
Correct.
It's very easy to understand. I'm this kind of creator. But I think with all creators, especially like what you said, you're gonna get to a point where you want to start exploring different things, right?
Thanks.
And then and as you get noticed as well, you realize, oh, I can't just do this. I also like creating this. A very good example is Chewy.
Yes.
Chewy blew up by being that teacher
Correct.
to kids, right? And it paid off so well. Like her entire foundation of her audience was based as, I know that this girl is a teacher,
Facts.
right? Everything else is secondary. But as she evolved as a creator, she also became, I also do makeup and skincare and beauty.
Yes.
I also want to do this kind of creation
Like
and stuff
vlogs,
like that.
lifestyle
I want to do
stuff.
street interviews and stuff. But to some people, maybe they're like, oh, I don't want to follow you anymore because you don't do that.
Yeah.
So there will be a drop-off of some audience. I was talking to her about it, and she said, I still want to discover more types of who I want to be in terms of a creator. And I think that's important, but I feel as a baseline, people need to understand and discover and like you for the one thing that you do, whether that's just your personality. Because, someone like Sedi, right?
Yes.
Vibrant personality. You don't actually care what he does.
Yeah.
You just want to see him.
Correct.
And I think that works. Yeah. So if your brand is your personality, then sell it.
Yeah. Sell it hard.
Sell it hard.
Be authentic as well.
Straight up, skibbities.
I don't think that's how you use it. But also that's Gen Alpha slang, that's not Gen Z slang.
Sorry.
Yeah,
got it.
skibbity toilet, we don't claim it.
We all out here in Goonstown. sorry.
Okay.
You cut all of that out. Give you a hard time on this one.
Okay, so let's say right in front of you right now is this young, impressionable person. He's going like, Ming, I've got two options in front of me.
Okay.
A career in a stable, traditional line.
That's the one.
Let me finish my sentence first, okay?
Sorry.
A traditional career.
Okay.
Something my mom is telling me to do.
Yeah,
It's going to be
stable
stable.
but traditional. Okay,
exactly.
Okay. And the other one is?
Content
Content creator.
creation.
Okay.
But they do have that drive in them. They
Okay.
have that like discipline. They really want to do it. What's your advice?
Like, is this a Nepo baby?
This is not a Nepo baby.
Hey, yo, I would suggest get a degree, go work a couple of years first. Do the content creation as a side thing. Do it as a hobby because it's usually best kept as a hobby until you realize that it pays the bills and until it's like it surpasses what you can commit to and earn from your day-to-day job, then make the switch.
Wow.
Because otherwise, you'll be working your ass off and it's
Yeah.
not going to be stable at all.
Yeah, people think content creation is not a 9 to 5, it's a 24-hour job.
Yeah. Do you all
24
know?
hours.
I'm just going to throw out names today because we're all up in here, right?
Yeah,
My boy Moses.
of course, Moses.
Moses is a freaking designer. He was a designer at an agency, right? And he did the whole content thing for fun. He was in the millions already in terms of views, but he still kept his job. Until one day he was like, you know what? Let's try it out. So even to Moses, right, at his numbers, content creation
Side gig.
is still a risk. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave my job and try this out to see if it works. And for me, that's how it should be met. I mean, otherwise, you're setting up yourself for like pain.
You're so right. Like every day, I'm so
Yeah.
thankful that my mom forced me to finish my degree.
Shout out, Auntie.
Yes,
Shout out,
Auntie Joe, you know what's up,
What's
okay?
up?
Because every single day I know that when the day comes when content creation is just not something I want to do anymore,
Yeah.
I still have that degree to fall back
Yeah.
on. I still can get a job and it's not going to be like the end of the world for me, you know?
This girl, man, hey, where the boys at?
Thank you.
It's true.
Thank you for that.
It's
Okay.
a very good point, yeah. I think one thing I always challenge people as well is that if you are big today and someone else comes along, because it's just a matter of time,
Yes.
who's bigger and prettier and smarter
better
than
than
you,
you.
what are you going to do then? Yeah.
Exactly. It's a harsh reality of being a content creator. That's what we're talking about today, right?
Straight up.
So, Ming, what is something that you have learned, your journey being a content creator, even your agency, right? What's
Yeah.
something that you've learned that you will continue to bring with you as this industry keeps evolving,
Yeah.
as more content creators come into the scene?
I've been super blessed on this journey. I think the different opportunities that have opened up itself to us has been crazy. I've been to red carpets where I've been able to meet some of the biggest superstars in the world.
Drop some names.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Kevin Feige, Chris Hemsworth.
I hate you. Get
Chilled
out.
out with, like, Mark Ruffalo saw me
Get
and I
out.
was like, Ming, why you here? I'm like, dang,
Damn,
shat my pants.
crazy.
All right.
Insane.
I've had opportunities to work with some of the biggest brands in the world. I love the work that we've done. But I think one thing that I've learned along the way is like, if you ever stop and think to yourself, I've made it, you did, son. Like, my favorite thing about this whole journey, and I think what content creation has taught me, is that like everything you do at this point will only be representative to that snapshot of you in the timeline then. Because like the you in 2 months' time, like you said, completely different. Just like as if you think that trends are changing, what more a person, like as a human, like the things that we want to be doing today, like if I think I want to be like a fitness, influencer, and in 2 weeks' time I want to do dance, what's going to stop me from not trying, right? And I think I love that about it. I think there has to be an element of planning and strategy to figure out where you want to be in 5 years' time. But I feel like throughout the whole thing, you have to have that childlike sort of like exploration to going into it. Because if you don't, and if you lose out and you miss the joy out, if you lose the joy in the whole journey, then it gets very boring and lonely. So we've been mad blessed to have people who have been so fun to work with alongside as well. And I think that's where I'm coming from, is to have that childlike excitement and adventure along the way.
To quote Ming, if you think you've made it, you did, son. You did.
Did.
Ming, thank you so much.
Hey.
I love sitting here on this couch yapping with you.
The Yap page has been
The Yap page has been insane.
Skibbity Yap. That's what we call it. No?
No.
We tried.
Yap.
We tried.
Yeah, but this has been fun, no cap.
This is fun. Hey.
No cap.
No, there's 0 caps today.
No cap, page, huh?
The Rizzlage is rizzling. Is that how you say?
You can use it however you want, Ming. At this point, do whatever you want.
I love it.
Okay?
And thanks for having me.
Oh man,
You guys crazy.
Thanks for joining us for CultYap. Yes, we'll be back for another episode very soon. Bye.
Riztown.